Hello and welcome to Old School Stable OOZE. But before we get into the video, if you do enjoy these, please do like, comment and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate your support. So this deck uses the combo of these two cards. The way it works is Unstable Mutation gives the creature +3/+3, but every turn it puts a -1/-1 counter on the creature. Primordial Ooze will negate this because every turn it puts a +1/+1 counter on itself, and then we have to pay mana equal to the counters, otherwise something bad happens. But when we have two counters, a plus and a minus, they cancel each other out, effectively meaning there are no counters, and we can just keep this big creature around all the time forever. So the other creatures we're going to play are Serendib and Sedge Troll. They're just excellent cards in blue and red, and we don't mind splashing Badlands just for that regeneration effect on the Troll. But of course you can play anything you want. There are quite a few good options in blue and red, especially when you do consider we are going to be pumping them up with the Unstable Mutation. There's also quite a few very good 3-color creatures. All of these are excellent. Tetsuo is probably the best, but they're all very good in my opinion. And of course we have all the best removal that red and blue have to offer. We can kill pretty much everything that we need to, or just send a huge amount of burn at our opponent's face. We also have Chaos Orb, of course all old school decks play that, as well as Juxtapose, which I'll get into this one more later, but we can use this to swap our stuff with our opponent's stuff. So I usually play X Points old school, which is an awesome format where the powerful cards are restricted by this point system. We can play 10 points worth of the cards from this list, and once we've used 10 points, we can't play any more of these cards. So I'm spending my 10 points, 2 each on a red and blue Mox to help speed us up, 2 on Time Walk, which is incredible in an explosive deck like this one, 3 on Demonic Tutor because remember we are splashing a little bit of black. It can also help us get the Time Walk, and 1 Maze of Ith. It's just a really good card and we have 1 point left to use. Obviously if you don't play X Points, you'll just play all of the best cards. And in terms of lands, we're playing all the dual lands you'd expect in a 3-color deck, although we are just splashing the black for Demonic Tutor and the Sedge Trolls. We have City of Brass and Strip Mine of course, but we are going to want 1 Diamond Valley. Now this is an expensive card, so it doesn't matter too much if you don't have it, but it's really useful for those oozes when they just get really out of control and we don't want to pay the upkeep anymore. Desert is also brilliant with burn spells, and if you want to spend your points on Mishra's Factory, that's a completely fine substitute for some of those expensive power cards. It really won't diminish the deck at all. In terms of options, there's really so many options in these 3 colors, especially in terms of different creatures, removal, counter magic, really whatever you like, but I do recommend going with that kind of aggressive tempo plan. In terms of the sideboard, there's some classics you'll expect to see here, such as Red Blast for blue decks, Shatter for artifacts, Control Magic for big creatures, things like Falling Star or Earthquake for smaller creatures, maybe an extra copy of Juxtapose if you want. Blood Moon, of course, excellent against multicolored decks. We're not really too heavy on the black at all, so we can actually function as a 2-color deck, so I think it's definitely worth including Blood Moon. And you can have Nevril's Disc for those Urnham-Geddon matchups where they just fill the board full of annoying enchantments. When playing the deck, sometimes we'll just assemble the combo really quickly and just beat our opponent's face with it, and if they don't have removal that can deal with it, pretty much they just lose on the spot a lot of the time. It's a really powerful combo when you get it on turn 2. In other matchups, we'll be looking to suit up a different creature, for example a Serendib. This is an absolute monster when it has Unstable Mutation on it and can end games super quickly. In some games, we'll be looking to use our burn to control the board and get rid of their small creatures. In others, we'll just be throwing huge amounts of burn at our opponent's face, and we really can kill them from nowhere, as this deck is packed full of burn. And I mentioned Juxtapose before. We can use this to give our opponent our very annoying ooze if we don't have an Unstable Mutation to control it. This means they will have to pay the upkeep cost, and if they don't, it will slowly just start to kill them over time. It's especially useful if we have a Sedge Troll that can just block it forever and ever. Against the deck, removal that exiles or destroys, such as Swords to Plowshares or Terror, are absolutely excellent, as are some control cards such as Moat or Mirror Universe. Things like Circle of Protection Red are also very useful, but as we are playing blue creatures as well, it's not a complete game ender. And we do function more as an aggressive mid-range kind of tempo deck. In some matchups, we'll be looking to control the board with our burn spells. In others, we'll just be looking to absolutely beat down as fast as possible and just get them dead. The strengths, it's a super fun and powerful deck with good creatures, good removal, and a whole ton of options. The downsides really are the OOZE death. Sometimes it can kill you, especially if you play it very, very early on. Black and white removal is strong against us, and some control cards are good too. So here's an example list. I really do recommend playing this deck. It's super fun and it's been doing quite well in X points over the months. Otherwise, thank you for watching and see you next time.